Hello everyone, it's UB. I just wanted to make this video. I said I was going to make it earlier today, or I said I was going to make some sort of video today, and now I finally have the chance to do it. Today was one of those days where I woke up late to an appointment I had, and then my day basically went downhill from there. I felt like I was catching up on the entire day, which I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. We've had those days sometimes, but anyway. In this video, I'll be going over my current open positions, my pending positions for swing trades, as well as just my typical analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and anything else that may pique my interest. First, I want to start with the Bitcoin daily chart here. The daily closed just below resistance at 317, and that key resistance area that I'm personally looking at is 5330, I believe, 5320, I think it is. Yeah, somewhere over here. 5320 is an area that I'm looking at. That's a key resistance that I believe after we get above there, we will be testing that 5.5K area. I don't think a pullback to maybe 230, somewhere in here, maybe low 200s at the absolute lowest 180 for some sort of pullback before another leg up, but I really can't see this breaking down anytime soon. And price action aside, just for right now, there's still a huge premium on Bitfinex. Pretty sure it's BTC USD, right? Yeah. So there's a like $340 premium on Bitfinex, which is just absurd. You can see that Finex is actually just grinding up. I mean, this actually looks ridiculous. I haven't seen this chart. I don't really look at exchanges that I don't trade on, which is a fault of my own. But this looks like it's going to break up again, to be honest. And why do I say that? And that's because, I mean, we've been seeing this basically since the new year, right? So we just see a slow grind up, and the pullbacks just get bought up instantly. I mean, this is bullish. I don't really see why. Yeah, I'm not really interested in shorting this. This looks like it's about to pop really any hour now. Hopefully my long gets filled. But anyway, so we do have that $300 or so premium on Finex, and that's because of Tether and that whole situation. I'm sure you guys know everything that happened with that by now. But what I'm expecting to happen on BitMEX is the funding, which is every 8 hours, either the bulls or the bears get paid a certain fee. You can Google BitMEX funding and you can read up more on it if you are unsure what I'm talking about. But the funding has been paying the bulls an absurd amount consistently every 8 hours, which is calculated by the premiums from different exchanges. Again, you can Google BitMEX funding and get a better explanation of it, but that's essentially what it is. So one side gets paid, and this side specifically, the bulls have been getting paid heavily every 8 hours. Okay, so that, as well as the $300 premium, I would not be surprised at all if this just popped right up to, I mean, I don't want to say 5.8K, I don't want to be too ridiculous here, but in the 5.5Ks, I wouldn't be surprised if this just shot right up, maybe even above these highs at 5.7, 5.8. I really don't think that's too out of the question at all. Anything like this. Actually, you know what I could do is compare BTC USD, just so we can just visualize the premium right now. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. Premium is right above that strong resistance. So it would really make sense for price to have a nice green candle right up to close the premium gap. That would be beautiful. But anyway, enough of that. There's no need to continue to talk about Bitcoin. So that's my analysis for Bitcoin. I'm bullish. The Tether FUD is basically, we haven't heard too much more about it, and I haven't Again, I've been busy today, so I'm not sure if anything really came out about the Tether FUD, but we didn't get that second leg down, which is what I expected. Typically, when you see these large candles like this, you get the initial sell-off, consolidation, second leg down, which we did not see, which I think is bullish. Plus the structure on Finex, that's just very clearly bullish. So I'm looking to long. My current pending long, I think I can say in this video, I'm probably not going to release it publicly. My current pending long is at 244, I think. Something like that, just below 250, I'm pretty sure. And we can move over to this chart and I can explain why. So this is just a very simple, I mean, I guess you can call it a trading range, but all it is just a 2 support and resistance line. So my support line is from this area right here, this 230 area. And I've been talking about this area a lot, and I think it's important because if we go on higher time frames here, we can see that this 230 area has been support. Yes, I'm sorry, has been resistance, broke through, broke above, support, support, breakout, broke below, resistance, resistance, breakout. So just a very clear support and resistance flip. Okay, so that's why I placed my bottom line there. My top line at that resistance is based on the daily chart, I believe. Yes, on the daily chart. So what I like to do, I really prefer to use candle bodies instead of wicks. I'm sure I've talked about this a lot, but I really do prefer to use the bodies instead of wicks, especially on BitMEX, and that's just because I feel as though sometimes these wicks can be very, very exaggerated because of large liquidations, because 100x leverage and large stops, things like that. So, I mean, I can't find a good example, but obviously these aren't too exaggerated. But I try my best to use bodies as often as I can in my ranges and my support and resistance lines. I prefer them. Some people prefer wicks. It's just seriously based on preference, and I believe that the bodies just have a better argument. But anyway, so my resistance line is just above there because, as you can see, it was the open for one day. No, I'm sorry. It was it was a close for one day, open for the next. It attempted to get higher, but it got rejected there. So I think that will be a significant resistance, as well as if I look on this chart, you can see that this is the strong resistance area. Okay, so that's how I came up with that, and I really don't think it's out of the question for Bitcoin to fill my long. I'm really hoping it does because, like I said, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, so I, of course, want to be in a long position. And what I want to see is just a sweep of this low here right into this block. Look at this block right here. So I want a sweep of the low right into the block and a pop right up. So the first trouble area for this long position is going to be 430. You can see, again, very, very clear support and resistance flip on this range. I'm pretty sure I found this on the 12-hour, though. Yeah, I got this on the 12-hour, broke it down. You can see how clean it is on the 4-hour. So that's going to be the first trouble area. To me personally, I don't believe it will be that much of a problem just because of that Finex premium. So if we do really get going here, I think this will get smashed through and we will take these highs here. So as you can see, we didn't have a swing failure pattern or a large upper wick or anything like that that took the highs before this sell-off. Was this the tether foot? It must be the tether foot. So this sell-off was just based on news, so not necessarily price action, which is rare for Bitcoin. But regardless, we did see that sell-off. The highs were not taken. I wouldn't say that the highs were taken here at all. This more looks like an attempt to move up rather than a stop hunt or an SFP or anything like that. So. Anything else I want to mention about this chart? Anything else? I think that's everything. But again, I think I do have a decent chance of getting my long filled. And if I don't, I guess that will be slightly unfortunate, but it is what it is. It happens sometimes. Maybe I'll move my bids up. No, I'm going to keep it there. I think I'll be able to fill it because the volume is really lacking. We have one drive up here. Rejection, second drive up here, and look at the volume. So the volume is actually decreasing on these drives up, especially throughout the last 2 4-hour candles. Price is increasing while volume is I guess it's not decreasing, but it's very low compared to these candles here. But again, the price action wasn't the same within those two candles, but volume is still low, so we may still see a pullback. I'm hoping so to fill my longs, but I am in a Tron long, so I want to talk about that. Let's switch charts here. Let me take off this. Don't care about that. Okay. Tron, let's see what's going on here. So originally I entered into this position because I feel as though Tron is attempting to form some sort of bottom here on the 3-day. And if we break it down a bit, let me delete this diagonal. If we break it down a bit, I believe that after weeks of selling off, we're creating some sort of bottom. Is it the bottom? Who knows? We'll see in the next few days if it pops up and it goes on a crazy rally. But is it the bottom? Again, who knows? But it does look like it's at least attempting to create a bottom. And I got this level from, if we zoom out, I'll go on the 3-day just so we can get more history here. Just a clear support and resistance flip, right? Tap. Support, resistance, broke above, support, support, and see. So if Tron is going to bounce anywhere and have a strong bounce, I believe it will happen here. If it doesn't bounce here, the next area of interest would be like 387 or so, 388. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens here. I am slightly concerned about Bitcoin, and if it does have a crazy like $300 candle or something like that, I'm slightly concerned that alts will be affected by that, which on the last Bitcoin run, I guess last Bitcoin run, last week or the week before that, when Bitcoin was pumping a bit, alts have just basically been bleeding. So I am slightly concerned about that. That's something that has been on the back of my mind, but I don't want that to hold me back from taking what I see as a decent setup. If we break it down on the 4-hour here, we can see what's going on a little bit better. And the diagonal I drew was just right here. Pretty sure it was something like this. Yeah, something like this. So again, to you, this may not be a valid diagonal. To me, in my opinion, this is a valid diagonal. We have more than 3 points of contact. We have a clear series of higher lows. Really, all a diagonal is a series of higher lows and lower highs, depending on if it's at diagonal like here or something like that. Yeah, look at that actually. I was just using that as an example, but that works. You can draw diagonals in many different ways. They're not exactly the same as horizontals, where it's pretty clear where to place them. Diagonals can really go anywhere. You can probably place one like here. I mean, you get the idea. You can place them anywhere. But if Tron is going to bounce before 400, it will bounce here. So I'm happy in my long position right now. Again, my only concern would be Bitcoin ruining the party, but I'm not really going to let that ruin my potential long position. So we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully some more volume comes in, and we'll see that strong bounce. Next, what else? ADA has been extremely disappointing. So I originally took this long position because of the 12-hour here. So what I saw on the 12-hour was it briefly broke below this strong daily support, which I've gone over in a few morning scans. This has been a key support and resistance level for ADA. So it broke down here, but it quickly regained that level. So I'm pretty sure I longed like on this candle. And then ever since then, that area of resistance price fell below and is now getting rejected by that area, which is extremely disappointing for ADA. Oh, we do have some higher lows here. I guess that's not bad. So it's extremely disappointing for ADA for sure. I expected a really, really solid bounce from ADA. I'm still in the position, I'm pretty sure. Am I still in this position? Oh, nice. I am. Okay. So I'm still in this position, so that's good. But, I mean, you can't ignore that it's clearly getting... there's clearly resistance now from this level, the 1285 level. So if we can reclaim that again, I'd be very, very happy. But if not, I fully expect to get stopped out, but I will not be closing that position until I do get stopped out, because I'm going to stick to my argument, and whatever happens, happens with that one. Tron, I'm a little bit underwater on this one. I longed at 347, I believe, and that's just because of this block right here. So that's where I entered into my long position. If we extend that left, we can see support and resistance flip to the left as well. Right on the 12-hour, support and resistance right there. I guess I can extend it left. Right there. So that's why I entered it at 447. I don't really mind being underwater at all, because, I mean, my argument is still valid, so it's really no big deal. If we can reclaim 447, basically get back above my entry, I'd be very happy, because we would be reclaiming this support and resistance flip. But overall, oh yeah, I already went over Tron, didn't I? Yeah, this is just the BitMEX chart, but this is just visualize what I'm looking at for Tron. I really don't think this target would be too out of the question at all once majors get moving. But the reason why I longed Cardano and Tron was mostly because of Bitcoin Cash and different majors. But Bitcoin Cash specifically, I mean, if you've been reading my morning scans in the morning scan section, I've had these two levels marked out for a very, very long time. So this was the first daily level. Price bled through that. This is when I was short. I got stopped out of my short here for a 2% account gain, which was great. But as you can see, it bounced from this, literally the must bounce area. Right, that was the high time frame absolute must bounce until we would see 0.042 and stuff like that. So I mean, look at that 3-day candle actually. Wow. And you can see how quickly it regained that level. If we break it down a little bit more, you can see that it's just, I mean, look at that. That level held very well, and it had a very, very nice bounce. So what I was expecting is other majors to follow in the footsteps of Bitcoin Cash, but I really haven't seen too much movement from really anything else, which kind of, I guess, sucks, really, for lack of a better word. It's unfortunate, I guess I could have said, but I'm still confident in my altcoin arguments and in my Bitcoin arguments, and I just realized I haven't gone over Ethereum yet, I'm pretty sure. So let me go over that. And this Ethereum range is one that I drew. I'm pretty sure it's based on intraday. Let me see here. I forget. 156. Okay. So I placed my bottom line at 156 just from this area here. You can see it was a key weekly resistance. Okay. So now on the way up, it should be acting as support. So that's why I placed my range low there. Okay, so we reclaimed that range low. Perfect. Oh, I should go over my range high. My range high is just based on this area right here. Pretty sure this was a, no, it was not. 3-day maybe? Yeah, this was a 3-day level here. So I took the top of this candle body here, extended it right, and I saw that we had obviously a few wicks there, the wick here. So clearly we saw that Ethereum was struggling to get above this area, so I believe that that is a decent area for a range high, so that's why I placed my range high there. And so I wanted to take this setup because if we zoom out a bit, let me just go on the daily just to show you why this block is here. And this block is here because of, what was it, maybe 12-hour? Right here. Because of this 12-hour block here. So we have untapped highs here, confluent with this 12-hour block. So what I really wanted to take was maybe this long to there, maybe something like this, or enter from here. Is that the same trade? Enter from here, maybe, if I can catch a wick there, enter to right here, but I'll be going to sleep directly after I upload this video, so I don't want to set any resting bids there for now. I'd rather just wait to see what happens in a few hours when I wake up. Maybe I'll set some alerts, and if they go off when I'm sleeping, I'll take a look and see if it's worth entering. But Ethereum as a whole, let's see, I'm pretty sure this is an Ethereum chart here. Okay, so Ethereum as a whole, how do I feel about Ethereum? I think it's very good that we closed the day above 159 here, and we closed the day above 158 today. So I don't think Ethereum looks that bad because we did reclaim this 158 area. On a daily time frame, what I'm looking for, I mean, you can clearly see it here. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm getting really tired. Is just a pullback to that 156 area before that stronger bounce. Yeah, I like Ethereum. I don't think it looks that bad. So I'm interested in longing Ethereum. I'm more interested in longing Bitcoin just because of that huge premium difference. I believe that we could just have a large candle out of nowhere soon. Maybe, what's today? I think today's, let me see. My phone's charging, so I can't see right now. But yeah, maybe we can go into the weekend on a large candle to fill that premium gap. But the bulls are getting paid every 8 hours, like I said. So I feel like it's just a matter of time. I think it's unlikely that we fall below 5,200 or 5,180, I believe it was. I think that would be unlikely at this time. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. I have some alarms set for overnight. So I hope you found this video helpful. Tomorrow I don't have any appointments or anything, so I'll be able to do my write-up for the morning scan, and I will also do a verbal morning scan like I'm doing now, but just my typical morning scan, because what I'll be doing is I'll be getting more into scalping and day trading. Since the new year, I don't know if I want to talk about it, but I've been having some problems that have absolutely nothing to do with trading, just some personal things. So I haven't been able to dedicate a whole ton of time to scalping like I normally would. And I'll also be making a video about the challenge as a whole. I'm not stopping it or anything like that, but I just want to talk out what's been happening. I may not even upload that video, but I want to talk out what's happening because I feel like maybe some other people will benefit from it, or maybe it'll be helpful for me to, talk about what's been going on. But the challenge will still be going on, and it will be going on for the entire 2019. Whatever happens, happens. I'm still confident that I can really close out this year very, very strong. I just need to get back on my feet with the things that I have been, I guess I've had problems with in my personal life, but that will 100% pass. It's just something that happens, I guess. Maybe I'll make a separate video on it. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much more of your guys' time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, as always, please feel free to ask. Thank you.